So without a doubt, one of the biggest storylines in the NBA this offseason was Jaylen Brown securing the bag. And Jaylen Brown didn't just secure the bag, he became the highest paid player in NBA history. A vast majority of people at the time felt like this was an overpayment for someone who can't go left. But to me, it felt like the Celtics were looking to financially secure the future of their 1-2 punch. When an organization takes you third overall in the draft, there are high expectations that come with that. But I think it's fair to say that Jaylen Brown has lived up to these expectations. Jaylen has consistently upped his stats every year he's been in the league while adding 2 All-NBA appearances. To me, that's somebody you want to build your team around. Going back to '09, there have been some great players drafted at that number 3 overall spot, while there have also been some duds. But from 2016 to 2020, each guy drafted in that spot was taken to be a franchise cornerstone. You have Luka Doncic, who next year I'll most likely be making a similar video on about him becoming the highest paid player in the NBA. You have RJ Barrett, who the Knicks extended with a 4-year, $120 million contract. You have LaMelo Ball, who the Hornets this past summer extended with a 5-year, $260 million contract. And of course, you have the guy who the Celtics took in the 2017 draft, the year after Jaylen Brown, with that number 3 overall pick again, Jason Tatum. Now, of those 5 guys I just mentioned, I don't think there's a single basketball fan on the planet that would say that they don't deserve a max deal. I mean, they're all young and headed into the prime of their careers. It only makes sense for you to lock them down now. Jaylen Brown's extension just happened to come up during a perfect storm. One, where the NBA salary cap went through the roof, and 2, where again he had already proven himself to be a valuable commodity and a cornerstone to a franchise. Now, Jaylen's extension doesn't kick in until next season, but by the 2028-2029 season, he could be making $69 million. Goddamn. Yo, any NBA team out there, if you need any type of help, anything, let me know. I'll be the water boy. I'll wipe the floors. I'll be the video coordinator. Whatever y'all need, dog. I need to get in on some of that money. Now, one reason why basketball is my favorite sport, and I believe that the NBA is a superior league to the NFL, is that the NBA CBA has made strides to empower players. One way the NBA has done this is through guaranteed contracts. And yes, the NBA has guaranteed contracts. One thing the guaranteed contract does is it sets these players up for life. If they play their cards right, their grandkids are all set. Their great-grandkids are all set. When a majority of these players come from nothing, now have the means to take care of their entire family. One thing about my channel that you'll notice is that I'm always going to be player or artist first. Meaning no matter who I cover, I'm always going to be on the side of that artist or player, and I always believe that they deserve to get paid for what they do. Brown became the first player to sign with M88 after he left Kanye West's Donda Sports Agency this past March. In case you never heard of M88, they're not a traditional sports agency. They're an agency that represents storytellers, actors, writers, and multi-hyphenates. I can only assume that he was drawn to this agency because Jaylen Brown is one of the most socially active NBA players that we have in the league today, and he felt that this partnership could further his platform and allow him to reach more people. Now, as far as the Celtics this year, I think this got to be the best team that Jaylen Brown has been on since he came into the league, and I think he's got to be a favorite to be on the All-NBA team again this year. I mean, they're just absolutely stacked and one of the best defensive teams in the league this year, especially with the additions of Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday making such an impact like they have. And then you got bald Derek White, who turned into a menace. You got Sam Hauser looking like a reincarnation of Ray Allen. And then you have Jason Tatum looking like the MVP so far this year. There is absolutely no reason why this team can't go all the way and win the finals this year. you got to give it up to Brad Stevens also for being the wizard and GM that he is. I think a lot of the moves that he made this offseason, a lot of people questioned him at the time, but now they're seeing how much they're paying off, like trading Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Robert Williams. A lot of people thought that he was crazy for doing that, but that man has a vision.